The first one is planning application 16-027, temporary use permit for 2016 Albany Hunt at 1048.
Tonight, the terror begins again.
Requirements for temporary and seasonal uses. So we categorize this as a live entertainment event, which requires the use permit and is limited to no more than 2 days.
Please present your project to the commission. You have 5 minutes with leeway with the chair's discretion.
Good evening, Chair and Commission members. I am Sam Dubois, the creator of the Albany Haunt, an event that has raised a considerable amount to help feed those in our community that otherwise would not be able to provide healthy meals for their families. In the process, we provide a safe, fun, and local form of pop-up entertainment. Thank you for taking the time to go over my project. I think that last year's hearing was very instructive, and sorry, I'm bad at reading. I have addressed the concerns associated with my project. This year I come before you with a plan that is smaller, shorter, and will cause even less impact to the neighborhood.
Began as the dream of a 13-year-old boy has become a treasured neighborhood tradition for many that makes our community a better and more vital place to live.
I'm Daniel Prescher. I live here in Albany. I actually went to the haunted house last year, not to go through it, but actually because I've been working with Sam on this and I've been talking to him. I wanted to actually see what impact it had on the neighborhood and what the crowd was like. For the most part, the crowd was actually well behaved. There was one person who showed up quite drunk, but other than that, they did quite well. And they were having fun. You know, one of the things about this that's just hard to understand is how much fun people have at this thing. I was actually quite impressed.
See you all again. Well, firstly, I'm not here to oppose this year's application. I just want to make a few comments and maybe ask for clarification on a thing or two and maybe a modification. The event itself was fine. Looked like a lot of people had fun. The impact on us was perfectly reasonable. And I appreciate that this year it's being scaled back in a few terms: construction size and length of construction, which were both very, very important to us. I would like to ask, just sort of a justification, why exactly 5 weeks? I always said to myself, if this was 1 month, I wouldn't think twice. So I was just hoping you could explain to us why you need the 5 weeks and try to make that make sense, because I really prefer just to think of it as a month. The other thing I'd like to ask, I understand that the allowed construction times are just governed by standard construction permits. There's nothing special in the permit. And that could start at 8 a.m. on Saturday. Anyway, I'd just like to ask that if that could be set to 9 a.m.
And I just want to say how important the project has been. It's been a wonderful community building project for the youth involved, the actors involved on the night of. I'm impressed with Sam as not only a very creative individual, but very responsible and very respectful. And you know, I don't think any kid could pull this off to the scale that he does.
This is my turn. Hi, I'm Bill Cooper, immediate neighbor on the north. I just want to say we support the event. I thought last year it went smoothly as expected with the numbers of people that were there, and the media was crazy. I don't expect that this year.
I just wanted to provide a quick answer on the 5 weeks. That was because the city staff asked for a minimum of 2 weeks prior to the event happening, that we would be all done with construction and they could come inspect and we would have time to implement any safety improvements. I don't want it starting before 10. It won't be starting before 10. I don't know. Teenagers don't start working before 10.
Back to the commission for discussion.
Well, I'll go first. I like everything about this application. I like the thoughtfulness with which it was prepared, the responsiveness to the neighbors, the civic activism of the young people who came tonight.
I would concur. I appreciate your industriousness over the last few years. And the only other thing I would note is I wish I could find a way to get my kids off their screens to do stuff like this. So appreciate all the modifications that you've made to address the neighbors' concerns.
Yeah, same. I'm glad to see kind of the compromise, the reduction of the size for Mr. Kraft's and neighbors benefit. And glad to hear it's being run well.
Yeah, I'm glad to see that you're here this early this year, and I applaud you for that and applaud you for the advanced preparations that you put into it. It probably has tipped the balance toward being too much of a neighborhood disruption.
I concur with the other commissioners, and in full disclosure, I attended last year's haunt, and I had a great time. It was a great function. My wife also came, and we both, it was like any other haunted house where we were scared and surprised and laughing the whole time. So I have no qualms in supporting this project. I will open it up for a motion, unless there's any other comments.
I would move this is PA 16027, the temporary use permit for the Albany Haunt at 1048 Peralta, and I would make the modification that the construction period on Saturdays and Sundays is the 10 to 6 window.
Okay.
I'll second.
There's been a motion and it's been seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Mm-hmm. All right, the project has been approved with the...
Guys, it's Sam. Just exited the public hearing. You'll have seen some shots of that. It went well. That was amazing. You saw that. Super rad. We're gonna build a haunt now. Craziness. Guys over there.
It went around.
Albany haunt shirt.
Yeah.
Craziness. In the back of a car, going to have some drinks. Non-alcoholic. Maybe alcoholic. Probably non-alcoholic. Vibe.